Hey there, and welcome to Power Up with Power Coach Alishia. I'm Power Coach Alishia, your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, education, and transformational life coaching and speaking with a twist of tough mama bear, no fluff, no hand-holding, no bullshit love. I specialize in helping women step into their personal power, unleash their inner badass, and put themselves first without feeling guilty, unapologetically authentic. Today, we are going to recap day number 1 of the we are going to talk about the bombshells from day number 1 of the Get Your Shift Together workshop. All right. Okay, so as you're getting on here, make sure you say hi to me. If you're on replay, drop hashtag replay in the comments. If you are on replay, it is okay to respond to me as if we were live. No problem. I pay attention. No worries there. I forgot to put my hashtag in the comments. We cannot have that. All right, now I got it set up and we can rock and roll. Where is everybody? Hi, Glenda. Yeah. Wait, where'd you go? What's this thing doing? Uh-oh. Technology's kicking my ass today. I seem like I'm still live. Everybody probably thought they missed me. I'm late today. Oh, look, you can hear me. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. All right, so for everyone on replay, just bear with me while I get these watch parties started. It's shared, messages sent, all that good jazz. And then we will be getting the show on the road. Hi, Vicky. All right. Last step is sharing. People are showing up. Marcy's here. I'm still within my 30-minute timeline. All right. I am going to go. All right. Christy Green. First and foremost, one thing that I do want to say is that if you are not in the Get Your Shift Together workshop, you should be. It's free. All it's going to cost you is your time and showing up for yourself, right? I will be there every day for 9 days straight. Besides Easter, we're taking Easter off. Hello, Dana. Other than that, I'm going to be rocking and rolling the Get Your Shift Together workshop for 9 straight days with you. Hi, Jenna. So make sure if you are not in that workshop that you do get signed up. I should have added it to the description of the video, but the main video, it'll be in the comments, but it's workshop.powercoachalishia.com. If you don't spell my name right, you will not be able to sign up. They say don't put hard to spell things in your URL, but I feel like if you're going to watch me every day, you should know how to spell my fucking name. Is that messed up? All right, so there's the link right there. Workshop.powercoachalishia.com. It's there in the comments for you. I'm going to pin it to the bottom so that it doesn't get lost. All right, so yesterday, for the 4 days, well, what's today? Tuesday. The next 3 days that I'm live here, and then the 3 days that I'll be live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, because I'm usually live 4 days a week, right? But today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week, we are going to be doing workshop bombshells. So I want to pull like the things that came up in the workshop that I felt were warranted to share, because I don't want to double dip. For the people who are going through the workshop every day and who also join me for Power Up with Power Coach Alishia, I guess double dipping isn't the right word. I don't want to overwhelm with different content every single day. So I want to merge the content each day. So each morning with me at the Power Up with Power Coach Alishia will be workshop bombshells. So today we are talking about the bombshells for workshop from day number 1. Even if you are in that workshop and show up here for Power Up with Power Coach Alishia, it's definitely worth it just to pull, here are some of the things that were awesome. And I'll probably take them a little bit deeper as well. So remember to join me each day, Monday through Thursday, between 9 and 9:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 11:30 a.m. Eastern. All right, so yesterday I said something really awesome, and it turned into a quote. So it's the first thing that I want to share with you. And it's that defense mechanisms do not protect you, they destroy you. So in the workshop, we talked about how your darkness doesn't protect you. It destroys you. And that your darkness is that dark place inside of you that you never want to go to. You shove it down. You don't talk to anybody about it. You don't work through it. You don't let it go. It just sits there and eats you alive, right? And so I had actually shared that those dark places don't protect you. They destroy you. So in workshop day number 1, we worked through releasing those dark places. And today we're going to start the process of putting good back in. So day 2 is going to be pretty powerful. I am letting my intuition guide me on what we're doing for each day. And so I have my outline for today, but it came to me after seeing comments and posts and stuff like that from yesterday's day 1 of the workshop. So that was pretty awesome. I'm totally excited for today. All right. So that was one of the biggest bombshells. The other thing is, I don't know if you realize this, but anything that's holding you back, hi Morgan, hi Brenda, anything that's holding you back, anything that's overwhelming you, anything that you feel like is stopping you or causing you pain or paralyzing you by fear, if you write it out and you burn it, it will change your life. So it could be anything. Hi, Adriana. It can be money issues. It can be sex issues. It could be marriage issues. It could be friendship issues. It could be parenting issues. Hi, Rochelle. It can be issues anywhere. If you journal all the shit or write out all the shit and burn it, it's going to make a world of difference. So that's also another big takeaway. Hey, Michelle. All right. Mary Mayhe's in the house. Dennis here. Jennifer's here. Amanda's here. What's up? What's up? Make sure you guys say hi to me as you're coming on. Hi, Stacy. Heather Warford. Let's see. Who else do I need to say hi to? All right. I think I said hi to everyone that's come on here so far. Woot, woot. Okay. So, what else did we talk about in workshop day 1 that I want to bring to the forefront? Damn it, there was something else. I'll start writing them down for power-ups. But I'm going to just go look really quick. I think this is something that didn't actually come up in the workshop, but that I noticed. Oh, it did, but I was going to say it in a different way. So I talked to one of the workshop attendees, and if you actually join the workshop, again, it's free. I'm going to be pitching it to high hell because it's fucking badass. And I killed it yesterday, and it's just going to get better and better and better. So I feel that she shows up one way in her business and another way where she feels safe. And so I want to kind of take that to the next level with you here today and ask you, are you showing up one way at home and then another way with your friends, one way at home and another way with your family, one way at home and another way in public? And I don't mean like naked and dressed or something weird like that, right? I mean, of course, when you're at home, you feel more comfortable, right? So there's things about being comfortable at home that create, I don't know, that comfortable energy. Hi, Jillian. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about who you are, right? So I named my Facebook group Unapologetically You. Obviously, my page is still named Unapologetically You. And the reason for that is there are so many times that you are living apologetically you, right? And so that's what I'm asking you to look at is, are you showing up unapologetically you in certain places in your life, and then in other places being apologetic for who you are? I found for myself that I used to do that all the time. If it was, I don't know. I think mostly with my family, I would show up like lesser than myself, right? Not as bold, not as me. And it's because I feel like family is the hardest on you for who you are. Your weaknesses and the things you haven't grown through. Your family also sees you as you were fucking 20 years ago and usually never catch up with the change and growth that you've had over the years, right? You guys should talk to me in the comments. I need to make sure that you are paying attention. You guys are quiet as shit today. Oh, look. These guys are talking. Hi, Kim. Hi, Latoya. Jennifer says, I burnt mine last night and slept so much better. Yes, burning your shit helps you sleep better because you're getting it out of your mind and it's not even hanging out in a journal somewhere in your space. Ooh, I need a notepad. All right, I have to write something down. Latoya says, yes, I put on two faces like everything is okay. Kim says, I learned growing up I had to present well to hide all the secrets. Ooh, that's so freaking powerful. Like, okay, when you get in here, make sure that you sort of thing, right, Kim? That's really, really powerful. Hold on, let me write this down. I don't normally do this on Power Up with Power Coach Alishia, but I am like on high intuition with this workshop. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Holy shit. Okay, I gotta let it go. I've got shit to do here today. So let's see what everybody else is saying. All right, so only people, Rochelle says, hashtag be yourself. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Jackie. What's up? What's up? Say hi to me as you guys are coming on here. Tell Facebook that this live is relevant. Always, always, always comment when you guys come on live. That's the only thing I really ask you to do to help me and my Facebook algorithms is to say hi to me when you come on. And I really would prefer if you engage with me because this is for you. All right, so the two sides, right? So I tended to do it with my family because, you know, as you grow and change with your family, like I was saying, they don't usually see you as the change. It's like, oh, you're the person you've always been. But if they're actually paying attention, they can see that difference. Or when you're around them, are you reverting back to how you were? For me, I tend to be less vocal. I tend to say less of what's on my mind. I tend to not really talk like I do with my friends and other people. Like if they're in turmoil, I don't tend to help. There's specific family members that I will. My mom is one of them, which I know seems weird because a lot of you are like, your mom is that person that is, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, depending on, you know, how your life is, that person that's like suffocating you, right? But I coach my mom a lot. Hi, Anitra. But my mom is also, hi, Leah, my voice of reason and my like, I don't know. She's my best friend. I love her so much. So I can coach her through shit and push her. Half the time she doesn't fucking listen, but I still do. My one sister-in-law, Sandra, sometimes I will like talk to her. Sometimes she'll just watch my replay videos and then send me a message or something and tell me thank you. So I think that that's pretty cool. So, but for the most part, I stay in my lane, right? So it's almost like you have this place, you like know your place. So you don't, you know, you don't step up, you don't step in, you don't unleash, you don't like have that power. It's almost like you're shrinking in order to not necessarily keep the peace, but shrinking so that you don't have to hear somebody's opinion, or shrinking so that you don't have to have that conversation about what they think and what you should do and how you should do it and how you should fucking get there, right? And so I totally get that, even with my own strong personality. However, we all need to make the commitment to ourselves and each other going through this workshop, right? For everybody that's in it. If you're not in it, go to workshop.powercoachalishia.com. It's also pinned in the comments. Go there, sign up, get in this fucking workshop. It's amazing. We got to make the commitment to each other and ourselves that we're going to show up, right? As the babs, the badass bitches that we are, right? And the people, whether it's family or it's friends or it's professional, whatever, that don't appreciate that, then that's not where we need to be, right? That's not where we should spend our time. We should not feel as though in order for this to happen, I have to be this version of myself. In order for this to go this way, I have to change myself this way. And then there's also spending less time with those people. Right now, you know, I get, well, what do I do if it's my job, right? Like, I have to be professional. Like, some of you guys, I've been attracting a lot of HR professionals because you guys are fucking exhausted and overwhelmed and stressed and just kind of numb to life, right? And I don't know what's up with that. I might have something there with HR professionals. I need to dig a little bit deeper in that like realm and figure out what's what. But hi, Barbara. One of the things that I notice is that, oh, well, I'm an HR professional. Like, that's what you say you do for a living. So you can only imagine that you are turning on this level of professionalism, which, mind you, you have to for your job, but be careful. You can still obtain that foundation of who you are. Obviously, you can't like bust through the doors being like, I'm here, motherfuckers, right? But there is still that power that's behind you. And I think it's important that you maintain that power and or even step up into that power, right? And don't shrink. So a lot of times in positions, and I'm going to come to your guys' comments in a minute, a lot of times in positions like as an HR professional, I find that you're so good at your job and you do, you know, so amazing in it that you're actually taking on way more that's even in your job description. And then you wear it like a badge of honor, but then you're pissed that you're not getting credit for it, right? And you don't get paid for it. And then it ends up overwhelming you and you have all this work to do, but it was all brought on by yourself, right? So be really careful. And I think this can apply to a lot of other people too in their positions, but it's just something I've noticed with HR professionals is that you have to realize that just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. And I think that carries right into day-to-day life, right? That carries into being a mom. It carries into being a wife. It carries into being a friend and a sister and a daughter. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Just because you can go warm up the fucking corn dog in the microwave doesn't mean that you should. Make the kid do it. Just because you can make eggs every fucking morning for your kids for breakfast doesn't mean you should. Like, right around 9... you should be teaching them how to make eggs, especially if you're home. Show them how to do it. You'll be there supervising, right? Don't be afraid to step back from some of the things that you are doing. And that was an example for home, right? And as parenting, because I know when I said as a parent, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And it's kind of like, really? You believe that? Fuck yeah, I believe that. But that's the kind of parent I am. All right, let's see. Jennifer says, suppress all the bad and be strong for others, right? So there's that too. As a strong person, I don't know. I find it interesting that I never really put my shit aside to help other people. That's never been an MO for me or a way that I operate. And I can't really tell you why. And I think, I mean, if I have to like think about it as I'm processing here, hi Tessa, I think it's because my mom wouldn't allow me to be a victim. So I think I talked about it yesterday. I had 5 brothers and I'm the only girl. So I do have a stepsister, but she was like that part-time, you know, 1 week or 2 weekends a month, Wednesdays, but we never really saw her on Wednesdays. And then we got her like a week out of the summer sort of thing. But her dad died in 2008, so 12 years ago. I don't know, she was like 10 or 12 at the time that her dad died. And then, we really didn't see her after that. So anyways, 5 brothers, only girl, youngest. You think, oh God, she was spoiled. No wonder why Alicia's like this. But that's not the case. I had the meanest mom in the world. And she held me to this high standard. It was like the way she protected me and groomed me at the exact same time. I wasn't allowed to be a victim. And because I'm a Taurus, I was always been very independent. So just like bitchy and like talk back. I got smacked so fucking much you wouldn't even believe it. You wouldn't believe that, would you? So my mom was very fucking strict, like extremely strict. And so I believe that I never suppress things in order to help other people, because suppression means that I'm being a victim. Like, I don't have time for myself. I can't worry about that right now. I have to go help these other people. And the flip of that too, I used to take people's problems on as my own. Like, I used to cry for other people. I would come home from school and cry and cry and cry. And I would talk to my mom. Mom, I don't know what to do. Her dad beats her. Blah, blah, blah. I'm crying and I'm crying and I'm crying. And my mom, I think, is the reason why, because I am a pretty big empath. I really do feel people's emotions and their feelings really deep. But I think she actually worked me through that inadvertently she would constantly tell me, Alishia, you cannot keep helping people if you're going to take their problems on as your own. So it wasn't that I would suppress my issues in order to help people, but I would feel them, right? And I would feel their pain, and then it would hit me. But I would never let them see that. I would help them, and then it would just like incapacitate me. I would feel so much pain for their pain. And so she would just be on my ass about that. You can't do that. You cannot take other people's problems on as your own. And if you continue to do that, I'm not going to let you help them, because it's the suicidal kid. It's the mom that beats them. It's the mom that's on drugs. It's the friend that's doing things that makes me think that they're on drugs. It's the parents who are kicking my friend out of the house. It's the parents who, my friend's parents who are an alcoholic and they don't have, like, it was like just so much for me. It was so fucking much for me, dude, to think about. Now, when I think about it, it was like, and I was young. I'm talking 10 years old to 18 years old. I had to learn the hard lesson that other people's pain wasn't my pain. It was my job, I guess, to save them. That's a fucked up way of saying it, but you know what I mean. Dennis says, I stopped telling people I was sorry for things like you mentioned the other day. Stop apologizing for things you're not responsible for. I realized I was saying it a lot. You know what's really interesting about that, Denna, is I never really say sorry, but I noticed I was doing it too over dumb shit. I don't say sorry when I'm wrong. I'm working on it. But like, it would be stupid. I don't know. I'll go to give Ronan a hug, and because I kiss one of my boys on the lips and hug him, and I kiss the other boy on the cheek, I would accidentally almost kiss my older one on the lips and be like, oh, sorry. Well, fuck that. You're my kid. Like, why am I apologizing for that? Right? But just weird habits that we form. So dumb, right? Kim says, my family feels threatened by my positive changes. That is one of the hardest things with family. When you are a certain way, and they see that. So we're back to the two-face thing. And again, this is still a recap from the workshop, because this is what we did talk about yesterday. That's such a powerful thing to bring forward, Kim, because when they see you this way, right? And then they see you changing, it's like, fuck that bitch. She can't do that. Who she thinks she is? Like, that kind of jealous attitude, right? And so then you're like, maybe I shouldn't. And then all of a sudden you want to shrink. Somebody wrote that down here. Yeah. Mary and Denna wrote. Then all of a sudden you feel like you want to shrink. Like, maybe I shouldn't be that way. Maybe there's something wrong with me. I learned this a long time in slumber parties before Pure Romance bought out slumber parties. And it was by Kimber Keene, the CEO of slumber parties. And what she told her family, she warned everybody. If you call me and you're being negative, I'm going to hang up on you. So if I hang up on you, that lets you know that you're being negative. I'm not allowing that energy into my space and into my life. And if that's how you want to move forward, I'm just choosing not to be a part of it. If you want me to be, part of the conversation, part of the dinner, part of your life, then please know that I am not going to engage in the negativity. And I felt like it was so powerful, and I think she did it to gain her power back, right? So I think that it's warranted to tell your family the changes that you're making and what you're doing for yourself. Now, my girl Leah can tell you that when you go and you have that conversation with your family, they're never really receptive. They're never, if you feel it's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary. For me, I don't give a fuck to have the conversation with my family. Who I am and what I'm doing is my choice. And for me and the way my personality is, if they don't like it, if they don't agree with it, if they don't support it, they can go fuck themselves. I'm not going to edit myself out. I'm not going to change myself. And I'm also not going to allow somebody to believe something about me that's not true. I'm not the same person that I was even 5 years ago, let alone when I was 15, 16 through, fucking 25. I'm a completely different person because I read personal development books like a crazy person. I listen to personal development books like a crazy person. I've been to multiple personal development books. I life coach. I business coach. You can't be a piece of shit with a really piece of shit mind and show up in the world and change people's life. That's just not how it fucking works. You can't be an imposter because you won't be able to have the transformation and help people the way that you truly want to if that's how you are, right? So I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I was an imposter. So I don't really give a fuck what my family thinks. If it's positive, I'll take it a little bit. I'm not going to wear it as a badge of honor. But if it's negative, it just rolls right off my back because I know the truth for me, right? So, and when I say roll it off my back, that doesn't mean it doesn't make me cry. It doesn't mean I don't feel like fucking flipping out and telling them where the bear shits. But what I mean is I don't let it change how I am. Does that make sense? All right, so Mary says, very true. I was seen as little Mary, and when I was around my family, I stayed in that role. Hindsight is 2020. Yes, yes, yes. Kim, you're a Taurus. Love it. Mary says, whoever said about family feeling threatened, so true. Have that now with my sis. It was Glinda. Oh, it was Kim. I said the wrong person. Mary says, my mom would say, oh, you know everything. You read books. I'm glad she wasn't my mom. I didn't even share what I was reading. See, there comes a line for me. I think it's okay for people to have their opinion, right? But there does come a line for me. The condescending bullshit like that. See, but my mom and I have a different relationship. Like, I would tell her what I thought. There's some people in my family that it's taken me a lot longer for me to tell them what I think. But my mom, I tell her what I think. Hi, Sandra Smith. Hi, Tracy. Sandra says, yes, I would believe that if you're a Taurus, LOL. My little sister is a Taurus. Anitra says, I need to go watch your replay for yesterday. We were having a family game night last night. Definitely. And you definitely want to stay up on the replay before we get to the next one, or you're going to get behind and not do the work. Rochelle says, mine is clients that don't value my time. Okay, so this is a good one, right? I didn't even think that I would have a lot to talk about today. I was like, we're going to be doing daily recaps. I'm going to be done in 5 minutes. Yeah, right, because you guys are awesome and have shit to say. I love it. Christy, before I go to what Rochelle says, Christy Green, she says, I do say sorry to bother you. First of all, you're not sorry to bother them or you would not be making the phone call or sending the text or interrupting the conversation or asking them to talk to you. 1. And 2, if what you're saying is important, why would you be sorry? And that, I think, is a habit, right? So logically, you're not sorry. You're just saying that in a way to make yourself not feel like you're interrupting them, right? Or not intruding. Don't do that. Catch yourself. All right. So clients that don't value your time is not a client problem. It's a you problem, right? So this is really, really, really important because I coach a lot of direct sellers, which have team members, and they always say, oh, my team doesn't value my time. They expect me to be there at all hours of the night. That's because you respond all hours of the night. That's because you're always at their fucking beck and call. That's because when they say that they need you, they send the text, they send the message, they post in your group, you fucking respond. That's why. Remember, people only treat you the way you allow them to treat you. People only treat you the way that you treat yourself. So the reason why your clients and your team and other people don't respect your time is because you're not respecting your time. There is no way someone can disrespect your time without your permission. That's all I have to say about that. Rochelle says, and yeah, I guess I put up with men in the single world not seeing my worth, working on telling them to fuck off. So that's another thing, right? That is a you problem and not a them problem. The reason why the single men in your life do not see your worth is because you don't see your worth. You don't need to work on telling them to fuck off. You need to work on telling yourself you love you. You don't need to work on putting them in their place. You need to work on connecting with yourself. One of the things that I know about you, Rochelle, is you pride yourself on how awesome you are. But I really feel that you do is your front for personal protection. I'm not saying that you're not awesome. I love you. I love you to death. I believe that you don't believe you're as awesome as you say you are. I believe that the way you present yourself, the way you hold yourself, the way you act with people is your defense mechanism. And that's the way you are protecting anyone from really hurting you. But the truth is they're still hurting you. We just don't get to see them hurt you, right? So I want you to be really careful. And from this moment forward, work on falling in love with yourself and what I call syncing with your soul. Because if you don't, you won't be able to protect yourself from other people. And that carries into your kids. And we've talked about this a little bit, but it's a big issue, right? It's a big issue everywhere you go in your life. That's how you know it's you. So in like panning out from Rochelle, I will say to every one of you, if you have situations that are happening over and over and over and over and over, and the people are changing where you're at, the kind of dynamic of the situation, but it's coming up over and over and over again, it's you. Even if, like, people are constantly treating you like shit, right? Okay, talk to you later, Maya. Even if people are, treating you like shit, you're like, no, that's their problem. They're a fucking asshole. They are an asshole. But they can only treat you that way because that's how you treat yourself. They can only treat you that way because that's what you allow. Again, coming from a place of as strong as I am, within the last 4 months, I've had to learn how to stick up for myself and ruffle the waters. And if it was going to destroy everything, it was. And if it wasn't, then it wasn't. But I had to learn how to stick up for myself and not shrink and cry. Your family thinks you conceited because that's how you present. If anybody first meets you, they think, God, that bitch thinks she is all that. But if they watch you and they're paying attention, they would see how broken your soul really is. All right, let's see. I don't mean to make you cry, by the way. I love you very much. Leah says, my mom also is threatened by my positive changes. So normally when you have a mother or a close family member that's threatened by your positive changes, it's generally jealousy, right? So it's generally the jealousy that you're doing something for yourself, or you have that support from the people around you, right? In this change, maybe it's your husband and they don't have that, or maybe it's your friend group that you have around and they don't have that. And so, you're going to find that the reason why they're jealous is because, or they're threatened is because they're jealous because they don't have that. The people that they're with, that they surround themselves with, they're married to, would not support them the way that you're being supported, and it bothers them, right? And it may not be just that. In Leah's place, it's control. And this could be for the rest of you as well. Leah's mom is losing control over Leah. Now, understand, she's 27 years old. So there's no fucking reason why Leah's mom should be controlling her, but she has her whole life until I came in the picture. So I'm sure when this bitch meets me, she's not going to like me, but I don't care. I have no problem telling her where the bear shits, right? So that's the thing. So sometimes it's not that they feel threatened, it's that they're losing control. And coming from a person that likes to have control over situations and what's going on, I can understand that. But the only way for the person who's losing control / feeling threatened is to release that, is they have to go through their own personal growth journey. And generally they never will, because you're also going to find that those people are pretty narcissistic. They can't do any wrong. They've got it. They are, whatever. If they do wrong, they're not the person that apologizes to you. They're not the person that takes ownership. They're not the person that says, I'm sorry that I've treated you this way and, hurt your feelings, or, I came across that way. They're the person that when you bring those things up as a way to squash it and move forward, that they attack you and they put you down and they're aggressive towards you, and, because they're not growing. And the biggest growth that you will see that you have is when they're pouncing, that you don't pounce back. All right, let's see. Mwah. All right. Hi, Heather. Hi, Nana. Leaders are readers. I like that. I like that a lot. Hi, Kim. All right, let's go over to these comments. I want to make sure I get through everyone's comments. Sandra says, girl, once you start loving yourself once you start loving yourself and you burst out, then men will fuck off. They won't even approach you. 1000%. So I have known Daniel for 22 years. We've been married for 14 years, together 15 on April 15th, tax day, right? And I still hear, so Jana tells me, my husband is scared of you, right? Men will still say they're scared of me. Leah's husband, Calvin, has been my friend for a long, long, long time. And that was one of the things he said to me the other day. It was like, you scare me. And I find that interesting, right? So those types of, like, these are good men, right? Men that are maybe scared of me are still good men. It doesn't make them bad men. But the thing is those types of men are not going to be the men that I'm married to, that I build a life with, right? Because they're friend zone, right? We can be hella fucking good friends, but it doesn't go to that, like, build a life together because of my personality type, right? Because of how I present. And I always have presented like that with men. That's just my personality. So even though I have men issues like the cheating and death and things that we've talked about before in those ways, I don't have a man issue for authority, right? I don't have a man issue for the way that I'm treated by men. I don't have a man issue in that way. Because I'll go toes. You want to step up and fucking act like you're going to smack me? I'm all in. I'm all in, right? I will fucking fight to the death. I'm not running away. So, I'm not saying like the men that are scared are like abusers. I'm just saying that my personality would not attract somebody who is abusive, right? There's no way, because he'd be afraid I'd fucking kill him. But that's what she's talking about. When you step into your power, I talk about this a lot in these daily lives. When you step into your power, it's like you're stepping up for yourself. And when you step up for yourself, the other person is not necessarily always stepping back or stepping forward. Sometimes they go, whoa, all right, she's here. All right. And you'll notice that. Like I'll notice that I don't really go out to the clubs anymore, but I used to go out to ladies' night every Wednesday. From 16 until probably like 22. I had Ronan at 21, so it, tapered off. But I'd be out there just fucking busting a move. And I went out a lot with my buddy Calvin. Just a lot. And he always knew I could hold my own, but Calvin's a very macho man. So if a man is fucking with me, because I'm a woman, he always wants to step up. Or hold me back, because I'm going to fucking kill this dude. But the point is, if I'm out on the dance floor dancing, I'm getting down, I'm grooving, I'm kicking my ass out, guys would start coming up and wanting to dance with me. And he would always watch from afar, first and foremost, to see, what I was doing. Not too far. He would be around somewhere. Watch to see what was going on. And I would tell them, no, like, I'm good. And it would be funny because half the guys would be like, okay, like, dude, this girl's a bitch. And some guys wouldn't take the clue. And the dudes that wouldn't take the clue, I'd be ready to fucking kick their ass. But my buddy would never let that happen. He would be like pulling me back and then stepping up for me, And so I could see then just that power that I had to, like, fuck you. No, you're not going to do that, right? And I'm not saying that if you don't have that personality type that you're weak. I'm just saying that I want you to be mindful of that. Every one of my friends, specifically my guy friends, will tell you that they don't need to protect me, that I've got myself, right? That I can hold my own, right? And that's just because of my personality types and traits. Complete stranger men just don't really approach me like that. Right? And if they do, they learn really fucking quick that if they don't back the fuck up, they're going to have a problem. So Rochelle, we really need to work on that power that you have. And like, who's that man? And who do you want to attract? And And what does that look like? And how do you present yourself? And how do you show up? Because a lot of your problem is accepting whatever instead of being like, fuck no, you're not worth it. I think one of the reasons why you've been single for so long is because your standards just suck. And then if you do start to invoke your standards, it's like, oh my God, it's getting thin. I have like nothing. So I'm like, okay, it's fine, right? So I was listening to this podcast the other day by Dax Shepard. Yeah. He's like the actor, but he's like funny too. Well, it's his podcast, but it was somebody else. And the gay guy says, you're looking for a 6.8 and then you take him to a 10. And when he said that, I was like, holy fuck. Like, I think as women, we're always looking for that 9. Like, okay, I could take her to a 10. But I realized, like, when you marry that 6.8, you take him to a 10. That's what I call training your husband. I was going to write a book called How to Train Your Husband, but wouldn't that offend all the freaking women in the South? I offended them without writing that book when I went there on tour. Hi, Melissa Mukowski. Woo woo. I haven't seen you forever. All right, let's see. What are you guys saying over here? This is my Chatty Cathy thread. Mary says, oh no, I was afraid of her. I would have been eaten. Now, as a young girl, I didn't talk to my mom like that. That's not what I'm saying. So I probably should have corrected that. She would have fucking knocked me out. I probably would be dead today. But as an adult, I coach my mom, right? But if my mom was disrespecting me, I don't know, maybe we'd have a different relationship. So if my mom would have carried her parenting style through adult, we probably wouldn't have this relationship. So I can't say that I would flex back. That's a good point. Mary says, the best outcome of my childhood, I made a conscious decision I would not be abused ever again. Boom. Jennifer says, so true, not setting office hours for even team members. It's a simple thing, but you got to do it. Spot on about jealousy and threatened and the controlling. My mother wanted to control me in every way. Kim says, oh my God, yes, my mom and dad are both narcissists. My stepson is a narcissistic sociopath. Holy fuck. Mary says, woohoo, April 15th. Kim says, my husband loved that I stepped into my power. He thought it was super sexy. Training husband 101. And you know what? Daniel loves that about me too. It's something for him that is not something that threatens him. As long as I'm not flexing on him, he loves that I'm that powerful. He loves that I exude that. Absolutely. You guys like that? As long as I'm not flexing on him, I'm working on it. Maya says, my mom and I have always been able to tell each other truths, which is awesome. She also says that her clients and team are well trained. My upline is the worst, but I just don't respond. Let's see. Tessa says, my children don't respect my time or space. I know it's my fault for allowing it, but I don't know how to reclaim my position and authority. Repetition is the mother of skill, Tessa. Over and over and over. And the problem is they're older, their disabilities, if you will, have gotten more out of hand. And so it's going to take 10 times more effort on your part to reclaim that power. But saying you don't know how is not true. You do know how. It's just you get too tired to continue doing the work. Those are two different things. Right? So you absolutely know how, and stop lying to yourself. We talked about this yesterday in the workshop. Stop believing the lies that you tell yourself. And Tessa, you've been in my world long enough that that's one of your biggest problems that I've seen. You tell yourself these repetitive lies and you believe them, which is true. A lot of people do, right? We all believe the lies that we always tell ourselves. The problem with that is if you continue to tell yourself those lies and you continue to believe them, you end up in this cycle, this shit show, right? This, over and over and over and over and over and over again, which is definitely you. And I see you doing your best, you're in this tornado, right? And I can see you starting to peek out of this tornado and be spit out the side so you can fight for yourself. But when you just said that statement right there, I see you drawing back in. So I was talking to Daniel about this last night because sometimes I coach him, sometimes I don't. But you have to be really careful about the shit that you say to yourself to keep you stuck. So Daniel's biggest habit is that he talks shit to himself and puts himself down right after he just said something powerful for himself. So he put the strip on the floor, right? And he goes, I know it may not seem like it's that big of a deal, but I was proud of myself that I finally did it. That's a statement, right? That he just said. No. Even though but erases everything that you said before, he needs to hold himself back. So then I start coaching him through that. I'm like, don't say that first part. That fucking first part doesn't matter. Just say that you're proud of yourself for doing the floor. Said, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I was just saying that it took me a really long time to do it. And so I finally did it. So now you just did it again. Because now you can tell yourself, see, it took you for fucking ever, but I guess you got it done now. Stop doing that. And so in this sentence, he did it again. So he did it twice. And so I stopped him again. And then he went, you're right. I am proud that I did it. And then he goes, but I'm just taking baby steps. And I feel like I should be doing more. Boom, he did it again. 3 times. back to back to back, and all different ways, right? One was pretty big, victim, beat himself up. The other one was medium, and the other one was passive. All three of them was a way that he shuts himself down and not gives himself credit. It was the same thing with you, Tessa, but in a different way. You're constantly like, I've got this, power, 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 I'm gonna fucking kill it, I'm so fucking amazing, and then, but my kids have been like this for so long, I don't know how to do it. Yes, the fuck you do. I don't know, what, 6 years in my world by now? The only reason why your life is not a completely different picture is because you keep giving up on yourself. The only reason why you haven't stepped into your personal power finally is because you keep giving up on yourself. The only reason why you don't feel amazing is because you won't stop making mistakes. Mistakes. You won't stop making excuses. You're going to make mistakes for the rest of your life. That was a slip. You won't stop making excuses. You keep making excuses, the same excuses. And most of the time it's for your children. So if I have to give you advice, stop fucking making excuses for your children. Just because this goes for everyone. Just because your kid has Asperger's, autism, ADD, ADHD, whatever the fuck it is, doesn't mean that that child cannot follow rules. Doesn't mean that that child cannot be respectful. Doesn't mean that that child cannot lead a normal life. In my unprofessional opinion, I think a lot of the crazy shit showery with all of these, I can only think disorders. Are they disorders or disabilities? Whatever they are, disorders is the parent. Well, this is what's wrong with my child, so that's why they act that way. This is what's wrong with my child, so that's why I can't get them under control. This is what's wrong with my child, so that's why our life is this way. No, your life is that way because you say that. You're going to have issues, right? You're going to have to work through it. You're going to have to figure out what your day-to-day balance is. Of course, I don't have a child with a disorder, but I have had nieces and nephews that have had each of those disorders. And they came at a time where the parents wouldn't allow that to be a passive excuse for that child to be that way. It was a fight to figure out how to continue to make that child to be respectful and not losing his fucking mind, what meds he needed to be on, what structure needed to be in his life in order for that assimilation. Because when I grew up, kids weren't allowed to act like that. So the attitude towards the disorders was completely different. Like, they recognized the disorder, but they didn't allow the behavior to be the reason. They're like, okay, yes, the behavior is coinciding with the disorder. What can I do? What meds? What help? What therapy? Right? Whatever it is. What fucking book at this day and age? So, like I said, I said unprofessional opinion. I'm just saying, a lot of that has to do with you as the parent and how you treat the child with the disorder. The resources, the tools, the processes, the structure. You have to fight like a motherfucker if you want what your version of a normal life is. And specifically to Tessa, you don't ever fight like a motherfucker. You fight till it gets too hard and then you quit. All right, Mary says, thank you about children ADD, HDAD. As a scout leader, the parents that had rules, their children acted better because the child knew expectation. My nephew has ODD, and I am more effective with him than his mother. Kim says, I'm a former special ed teacher of 20 years. I'm a behavior specialist and social worker. By not holding people with different abilities to a high standard, you are disabling them. I have always said that without knowing that. My nephew, this is a different one. He was high functioning autism, and everybody else treated him like he had high functioning autism. And I treated him like every other fucking kid that I don't like, that annoys me, that talks back, that acts like a fucking brat. I treated him the same way. Knock it off. Not putting up with that shit. I will kick your ass. And when we hung out, he was awesome. When I took care of him, he was awesome. He still had his disorders, but he knew what I fucking expected because I only did what I knew how to do. Listen, if you're under 5, I love you. At 5 and older, I want to fucking kill you. It's just how it is. You are disabling. They need you to hold the standard high and provide structure and consistency. That's awesome. That's pretty much what I said. And Mary says, yes, Kim. I was consistent. He knew our routine, and we had a lot of fun as well. Boom. Melissa says, I stepped into my power a few years ago and have remained single and patient for the man who will embrace it and not try to diminish it. Boom, I love that. Leah says, different subject. Keegan and Quentin come up the stairs with backpacks of cars and say, "Are we going to take them to Aunt Alicia's and play?" Oh, cute, because they could hear my voice. Oh, I love it. So I have a really funny story about Keegan. Is it ADHD, Leah, right? With Keegan? I didn't know this at the time, but he loves to hang out with Ronan. So Keegan's 6 and Ronan's 14. And I wasn't sure how my kid was going to act, because my kids are not used to hanging out with littler kids. And so I'm like, oh God, these guys have tiny kids, except for their older daughter who's 11. They're like little. And Stratton has 0 patience for little kids. And I just don't know what Ronan does, right? But Keegan wants to spend all of his time with Ronan. And I had just maybe within an hour got done saying that my threshold is 5-year-olds. Did you guys hear me say Keegan was 6? So Ronan gets in trouble for being rude to the 11-year-old. And Keegan comes up and says, "Oh, he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it." I said, "I know, but he still shouldn't act like that. He needs to be respectful." "Oh, I just wanted to let you know that he didn't mean it." I was like, "Thank you." And then he goes, "Can I play the iPad?" And I was like, "Yeah, you could play the iPad. Let's get it." And he goes, "But I want to go with him. I want to go with him." I was like, "You can go in there with Ronan, but first we have to get you the iPad and get you the charger because Stratton says it's dead. But yeah, but I want to go hang out with him." I was like, "How old are you again?" He's like 6. I was like, "Thought so." He's my little buddy now, but that was funny. Melissa says, "My son has ADHD, and I look at that as embracing the extra skills he has been granted and holding him accountable and always working with him and pushing him to never let it be a crutch. He can do anything. I will not allow him or anyone to put a ceiling on his abilities and potentials." So Tessa has not said anything. She's like, "Fuck you, Alishia." So Anitra says, "I call them challenges. My parents always told me can't was not a word." Boom. Let's see. We've been on here forever. I am so excited about the content that came out of this workshop recap. You guys are fucking awesome. Without you, the content wouldn't have been this good. So here's the deal. Every one of you that showed up for today's Power Up with Power Coach Alishia got what you needed from this. Tessa, I have given you an ungodly amount of resources from my connections. You have a whole bunch of people here who can help you and support you through this, and you're not alone. I don't think that it's a lack of resources or lack of tools or support more than it is you stepping into that power going, enough is enough. I'm going to create a process. I'm going to create a flow. I'm going to create a structure. I'm going to create that consistency. And I'm going to make this happen. I think because you have, it's either 3 or 4 children with disorders, it is overwhelming for you, right? But if you can put that structure in place across the board as a foundation and then, tweak it based on personality type and kid, I think that's going to be the best place to start, opposed to creating this structure for this kid and this structure for that kid and this structure for that kid. Because really the baseline, whether a child has a disorder or not, children need structure. Like structure and rules and what's expected of them, what you're not going to allow, like I said, disorder or not. And like even being on the phone with you, they just, even if they didn't have a disorder, your kids would be running you over. That's what I'm doing my best to say. Even without a disorder, you would feel like you didn't have control over those boys, because it's not, the orders are not the first problem, but that's where your focus goes. The first problem is not making them respect you, not putting in that structure, not having that plan for them. You say that your kids stay up till fucking midnight. That's nuts. Not nuts. Like, this isn't you are a bad mom. This is you being overwhelmed. This is you giving up easily, right? And so you have to make this commitment to yourself and those boys that you're not going to do this anymore, right? I knew you were crying. I knew that's why you hadn't written back. And that's okay. I need you to receive this, because now I'm going to start kicking your ass. You've been around long enough that this is bullshit. I'm over it. And I know you're over it. So now I'm going to start pushing you in this area of the person that you need to be to lead those boys to greatness, and the mom that you need to be to lead those boys to greatness. Okay? So, well, I don't want you fucking crying driving down the goddamn road. So just stay pulled over. No more excuses. And I know it feels like reasons, but Alishia, they do have this disorder. But Alishia, I get that. I'm not discounting that whatsoever. But you do have a group of people here who are versed in this, right? And it seems like they may have older children than you, or maybe the same age that your kids are. And you've got to like hold on to people like that. You know, Ronan ran away a year ago, like right now. He ran away about a year ago, right now. And I didn't ever post about it, and I've actually never talked about it to it like live. I've never told the story, and I'm not going to tell the story today. I think maybe one day I will. But I haven't told it like, you know, publicly. And I remember posting on my profile like something about teenagers, you know, what's your best advice, and go. Because I didn't know what to do, but I wasn't going to just put out there that my kid ran away. And it was crazy because the comment thread, people were like, oh my God, my teenager ran away. Oh my God, my teenager stole my car. Oh my God, my teenager was vaping. And all like the comments, everybody was so honest and they were so open. And then all of a sudden they started sending me messages. I'm here for you. I can help you. I'll tell you what we did. Da 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 da. And I had people that I didn't even know just giving me like this outpouring of support and love. And not the, well, it sucks, I know. Because that doesn't fucking do you any good, right? It was like power love. I loved it so much. I could ask questions to these people in private messenger. Like, really? Wow. Well, what did you do? Well, I put them in counseling. Okay, well, what kind of structure did you do? What did the household structure look like? What was his consequences? How do you enforce, like, what are consequences for a fucking teenager? And I started talking to people with teenagers who actually cared to help me, besides telling me good luck. You know, like with this attitude of like, that's how it is. That wasn't good enough for me because that's not how it fucking is in my house. And even if that's how it is with every teenager, that's not how it was going to be here. Because I can't live with that's just how they're going to be. Somebody is going to die if that's the case, right? And I know that with my personality. Like, I can't do it. There's just no fucking way that he's going to just be tearing up and acting like a motherfucker or, you know, disrespect. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Hi, Katie. So I got that support and I got that help. And I realized, one, that I was normal and I wasn't a piece of shit mom. And two, that this is, you know, part of what some teenagers do, right? And that there's lots of other people who have gone through this with their boys that they never expected. But then I also got that power as a mom to realize that there's a lot of fucking teenage boys that are worse than mine. So I know that sounds like a fucked up way to feel proud, but then that gives you that like, oh, because my mom has always told me this, and I think I'm going to wrap it up with this. She's always said, if a whole group of people walked into the room and laid their shit out on the table, you would gladly pick your shit back up and walk right out. Okay. So, with that being said, lean on each other. That's what this is about. This workshop, you'll find when you emerge from this workshop, those of you that go on to my Elite Life Coaching Program, you will find that in my Elite Life Coaching Program, everybody's tight-knit. And we've had brand new people just show up, join, right? We have brand new people coming in, but every new person that joins my Elite Life Coaching Program is like welcomed into this like family and support and love and direction. And it's just the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's all women. So that's also really like mind blowing, right? So remember that it could always be worse, right? That you would gladly pick up your shit, and this is for everyone. And also remember that you're not alone. There is someone in this community, in this workshop, right now that has advice, that has help, that has support for you from exactly what you're going through. Not just like my unprofessional, professional opinion advice, but like, this is, I get it. This is what I did. So like Latoya says, she's going through that right now. All right. So if you are not in this workshop, please go to workshop.powercoachalishia.com. My name is spelled Alishia. If you don't spell it right, you're not going to make it there. Workshop.powercoachalishia.com. Get signed up. Remember, this was the recap. So what I talked about today, like inside of the workshop, was hella powerful yesterday. I pulled some recap points out and you guys took this conversation somewhere completely like different and down different legs. And it actually did exactly what I wanted it it to do. So thank you guys so much for showing up today and being so open. You know, even those of you that aren't in the workshop, those of you that are in the workshop, without you showing up here today, this wouldn't have been what it was. I still would have been able to deliver some, you know, awesome content and things to think about. But without you, I wouldn't have been able to, you know, give today what I was able to give. So tomorrow will be recap of workshop day 2, so on and so forth. Monday we'll be recapping what happened Friday and Saturday, and that's how we're going to move through. So even if you are in the workshop, I do recommend coming to these recaps, because anybody that shows up and comments and adds value like you guys did today, it makes it so freaking awesome. So remember to say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. Give yourself some grace, and definitely remember, it's about progress, not perfection. I'll see you guys later.